Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Gamey Daddy channel. It's been a while. I'm so glad to be making some fresh division content because there's news, and I've also, been really excited to actually return after, putting myself on a few weeks break from the division and the division 2. Now, many of you may not know, but from time to time I'll take a few days off, I'll take a week off, sometimes 2 weeks off from the game. I won't play the game for any reason, and I'll just spend time doing other things or maybe playing another game. And I have been actually investing in another game, which I'll be bringing more down the road. It's not for now, but that's been really exciting to actually come back to State of the Game with a little bit more fresher eyes, because to be very honest, players can get division burnout if they constantly stay on the game. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons a lot of players get really frustrated is they are constantly on the game, and they will continue to see are the issues with the game, because there are issues in the game. You eventually get past the good stuff, and then before you know, it's the frustrating sides, which today's State of the Game, Yannick explicitly said a lot of the changes are actually being designed to reduce the frustration in the game. And to me, I think Massive finally woke up from their slumber today. This is the Massive that we know. The Massive that we know, I mean, granted, they're not the best at balancing, MMORPG games or all that stuff on day one, but they are the Massive that is willing to bring a PTS and work with the community. And I think a lot of what has gone on in the world has stripped away their hubris, because I think they did successfully well. And then with the launch of Warlords of New York, I think they also did well, and they kind of were like in their little high corner. And then with everything that happened and people kind of just, raising their arms and just kind of backing out and, everything going on, I think it's basically brought everybody back to their senses. And we are now in a place where we can now work together on a PTS to make this game better. So I'd encourage those who are PC gamers who are even thinking about it, because some of you may not be thinking about it, to at least give it a shot, to at least get out there, get the game on, download it again, and check out the PTS. It's going to be coming out on Friday. If you have a gaming PC and you don't have the division and you play mostly on console, I'd also encourage you to give it a shot. The game is $10 right now on the Epic Games Store, $9 and a few cents, I think. And, chances are you might have a little spare change. Maybe not. That's fine. But at least it's something where your participation now is going to make a little bit more of a difference than it has made in the past. This is basically my thinking. I used to, if you watch my old videos, I would rant against wanting to ever touch a PTS because I felt it wasn't, a good use of time. But now that we've had everything in the world happen, new content, new raids, a new raid is about to drop, I can justify going into the PTS and spending a few hours just specifically testing new gear, new brands, potentially new weapons, and everything that will be coming with the title update 10. So very important and very interesting is the exotic loopholes are going to be changing as well. This is something that feedback has been taken, and there are some people saying, well, it doesn't really make exotics really exclusive. Ladies and gentlemen, the Division 2 is winding down to its end of life. Get off your high horse if you're a hardcore player talking about it doesn't make exotics worth farming for. Exotics should be prevalent in the game once the game has run a specific course of its life, and we're going to be getting legendary caches as well, like we did in this is Division 1 playbook. For those who may be new to this, maybe you don't understand how, they've actually made this game in the past, but they're doing basically the same thing. Most of the developers are basically, the similar, concept designers and similar people who did the first game, and they've run that first game to the best of their, ability and knowledge and experience, and they're bringing some of that into the Division 2. I wish they adopt more of it or had adopted more of it sooner. We would have probably gotten the game to a better place. So I wouldn't be surprised we see something like an optimization station come into place. Reconfiguration is now a thing. They even talked about crafting being giving you the potential of gaining one max roll stats, and there were questions about that maybe not being a thing where you can get max rolled items from crafting. They talked about the season caches, also, allowing for more exotics to be in the hands of more players. This is a good thing. Exotic parts will continue to be good, because if they bring out more content down the road, I hope they do. I think they will. I think there's probably one more year to get out of the Division game. Many people think it's not possible. Tell me that something is impossible. Me. Come on now. I mean, I don't think in terms of absolute negatives. I think there usually, in many cases, when it comes to a possibility, that there's usually a small chance that something can happen like that. So it was quite interesting to see all of this take place, to see that the developers are still working on this game, even though it seems like there's like a slimmed down team working. But another thing too that the community basically has to understand is Massive usually will stick with their schedules, and very strongly, except something extenuating happens. Like now, the seasons are getting 2 extra weeks before they end because of the PTS. So that is an exception to the rule. And so, that's something that you're probably not going to see much of. So when people say, oh, they've given up on the game, I think it's because we're getting impatient. We've played all the content and, we just don't see anything new and any new game mode. But you have to understand there is a schedule in place. With the schedule in place, they're going to just follow that schedule and then do what's next. I almost think the raid's going to be coming out at the end of the schedule of the season. I think the raid's going to launch with the new season just to kind of bring up hype. And there are going to be new exotics as well that are going to be in the season track. They're going to try to get you to buy that season track. I've said I was going to buy a lawn chair and sit outside because the season track is $9.99 and a lawn chair at the local hardware store in my town is $9.99. So I'm going to go in there, I'm going to get myself a lawn chair and I'm going to sit outside and then I'm going to farm the items, because if I can get the items from the general loot pool, then why not just do that instead? Spend $9.99. I can spend $9.99 on something else, unless I get an early birthday present, which still will buy that lawn chair. But nonetheless, there's so much to unpack and there's so much to deal with. I'm trying to do my best to put it all in one video, but it seems like we'll have these conversations over down the road. You probably won't be hearing from me until, Friday, God willing, when the PTS goes live. I'll try my best to bring you guys some updates if you're not going into PTS, or if you don't want to go into PTS. Hopefully I'll be doing, frequent updates on letting you guys in on what's going on. And then regarding PvP, I have to say this, many people still think that PvP in this game is a primary resource, but it's going to always come down to the point where PvP is going to be just a secondary priority. Now, that doesn't mean the developers don't care about PvP. They've said that, they want PvP to be a fun experience, but it is a limited experience nonetheless. I see, a lot of the sentiment of people saying that PvP is what keeps the division alive, but I would just say there is no evidence to that effect. If that was the case, you would be seeing a lot more game modes and a lot more stuff coming to PvP, because if PvP actually had more people to jump in, more people to buy, DLC and, spend money on, then you won't be getting, season tracks, and you won't be getting DLC that's basically PvE based. In fact, PvP content will be free, and that will just by nature be prioritized secondarily. Now, maybe Division 1, YouTube, PvP was very popular on YouTube, but it didn't still, make a case for why they should invest more in PvP when PvE is the money bringer and the money maker. And I know many people might complain about this, but you have to put yourself in the shoes of who's bringing out the content. If you were running a gaming company and your PvE players were bigger spenders, and they had shown to be bigger spenders, and you have a staff of over 400 people to pay salaries, you would make the content that made the money. It's just what it is. It's the gaming scene, but it's still business at the end of the day. So there's a quote by Wids. He just said it on his live stream. I recorded it. I would have played it for you, but it has copyrighted content because it was playing some music on there. And he said anybody that's still thinking PvP in this game is going to get better is just hurting themselves. It's not like PvP in this game is going to be where it is. It's going to continue to be, just maintain balances and stuff. Maybe we'll get a resistance game mode, but that's because resistance is a PvP VE type game, and they'll probably sell it. Maybe it would appeal to PvE players, but I don't think there's enough PvP connoisseurs in the Division 2 that will be willing to support those projects. Sorry to say, it's just the reality. And like I said, this is a comment from one of the best PvP players. You can't even deny it in this game, Wids. And I've said this many times. I've been watching him since the Division 1 take literally the worst builds and slap entire servers. It's not even a complaint. There are people that are in this game that are also good, that probably don't stream, But for those who stream and those who actually play the game actively and put the game out in the public light, I think is basically one of the best, if you know, in my opinion. Nonetheless, he's a professional gamer. I guess that's another thing that actually, you know, also plays into that. Many of you don't know he used to play some old game professionally. I don't remember the name. So there is that side of competitiveness that goes with that. So this was some of the state of the game. I'm just giving my take on the scenario that's surrounding everything and why I think this is exciting news for the active part of the community. And even for those who may have put the game down for a little bit, who are taking a break and a hiatus, they'll probably be happy to come back to what's going on. So that's it for me. Thank you so much for your time and audience. I appreciate you guys so much. Hopefully we'll see when the PTS comes out what's new. I'll be on my other channel, hanging out there, making content. If you want to come and, you know, check it out, you're free to do so. Link in the description. Thanks once again for your time and audience. Peace.